Alright my friends, so it's time for us to write some CSS code to change the style of our navigation. So the first thing first, what I will do, we have really small size of CSS code here that we can target very easily. I do not need to change the style of these buttons. Okay, so I'm gonna just collapse them like so I can see the style of these on the top. Then I want to change them here. So what I will do, first of all, I'm gonna target my entire navigation. All right, I'm gonna give it a width of, for example, let's go with the, how about it, for example, 60 viewport width. Okay, and also I'm gonna give it a background color. I'm gonna explain everything, just give me some seconds. Okay, for example, we are gonna choose this background with color. So the viewport width, this is it is a unit measure that is really just like rems, pixels, percentages, but it is really more flexible, and I'm gonna show you what I mean. So if we click on inspect, we have the navigation like so. Okay, so this is 60%, okay, from the viewport width. Of course, if I make it, for example, 100, we are gonna see that it will expand the entire width, but I'm just gonna leave it at 60, and I'm gonna explain why in a second. All right, so what else we want to change? First of all, we want to reverse the direction of our flex. So I want the list here to be on the top, and I wanted these buttons to be on the bottom. And to do so, we have already defined a display on it to be flex. So here we can reverse it by typing flex direction, okay, and make it column. So by default it's a row, so that's why we are gonna see it one beside the other. But once we make it column, then we are gonna see it one on top of the others. All right, now what I will do also, I will go ahead and target my list, my UL. I'm gonna do the exact same thing with it. So let's go ahead and type list or nav list, and also I'm gonna make the flex direction to be column, and let's see the changes. So as you can see, it is now much better than what we have previously. Another thing that I will do, it is to make the height of the navigation to be, for example, it will take let's say the entire height of our width or our viewport. Okay, this is really depend on you. I just want to show you how you can change it. So here, if we type height, let's go with, for example, 70 viewport height. Okay, and instead of using grams and all these kind of stuff, these unit measures are much more responsive than the rem and the pixels, specifically in these types of situations. All right, so as you can see, we have our navigation has quite a good space that we can work with. Now what I will do, I will very simply, you can see this space, this amount of space comes from this property right here. This is the justify content. What it's gonna do, it's gonna go ahead and take the space and divide it between the childs, okay, between the children of the nav. All right, and in this case we only have two main children. The first one is the UL, and the second one is these buttons. So that's why we are getting this ugly looking right here. Okay, and in order for us to change it, what we can do, we can type justify content to be space around. Okay, so if we type it like so, we have now much more, I mean, it's more nicer than what we have previously. Now what I will do, very simply, I will target these items and apply some style on them. So let's see what we can do. So I'm gonna target the nav item. All right, and here what I will add margin from the bottom to be like 1.3 rem. Let's see how it's gonna look like. Now it's much nicer. Now I just want to show you something. If I hover on the, let me just show you the navigation here. Okay, we have the UL right here. If you hover on it or you click on it, we can see some default padding and margin being assigned by default. So the orange color, let me just hover, the orange color, it is margin, and the green or the light green, it's a padding. This is assigned by default. We want to get rid of them. And in order for us to do so, first of all, here is my UL, the nav list. I'm just gonna say padding to be 0 and margin also to be 0. And if we take a look, now we have it much nicer than what we have previously. Of course, we could have changed it a lot. For example, apply text align center, make it much nicer, but I'm gonna stick with this. Now the last thing that I want to change, it is to get rid of this weird white space right here around our let's say this purple color. And to do so, here on the top, I am just gonna target my body. This is really about resetting all the default styles that been applied by the web browser. All right, margin here to be 0 also, and we can see directly it is gone. So if we take a look now, let me just decrease the size. I just want to see the final result. Okay, now I think it is quite a good thing that we have it like so. And of course, feel free to change more, change the color, change the size. Of course, we could have decreased this kind of space, but I think I'm gonna stick with it. But of course, in a real life, you will have a logo right here, and the navigation will be on the center. It is much nicer, but in our case, we do not have too much content. I just want to show you the JavaScript part. So hopefully that makes sense. Thank you, my friends, so much for watching. See you in the next one.